Want to make some easy money, but you don't have the mines unlocked, nor do you want to use metal detection? Here are some easy ways you can make some money without using either of these. The first option to make really good money is by selling your fruit. Now, there are 4 fruits I'm going to talk about. It is apples, bananas, bush lime, and 𝓗𝓸𝓬𝓲. There is a 5th one you can find on your island. It's usually by the oceans on the little islands that are right next to each other, and that's coconut. However, the coconuts only really have 2 options that you can do with them. You can either sell them as they are for 260 per coconut, or you can use them in a lamington recipe by the cooking station. However, the coconut tree seems like it grows a lot more longer, or it takes a lot more longer to grow compared to its other 4 counterparts, so that's why the other 4 are actually a really good way of making money. Each 4 of these trees are actually really good ways of making money, and cooking these will actually make you more money as well. If you're not interested in cooking, you'd rather sell the fruit as they are, bananas are a really good idea. Each banana tree will supply 2 bananas every time you shake the tree, and they will sell for a total of 500 gold per banana tree that's shaken. Obviously, this is multiplied depending on how many banana trees you have. On the other hand, if you don't mind cooking your fruit, apples are the next best bet. Each apple tree will actually have 4 apples on them, and if you cook each of these and sell them over to John, it will sell for 1,500 gold for every tree that's been shaken. The best way to capitalize on this is every kind of fruit tree that you find in the wild, be sure to take that fruit back home with you and plant that fruit into the ground so then it can turn into its own tree and you can have as many as you like. If selling the fruit isn't for you, then selling meat is a really good way of making money. All the animals that you do kill will supply you with some sort of meat, depending on the size that they are. For example, the most common meat that you can find will sell for 400 dinks when it's raw. However, when you cook it, it will sell for actually double over at John. However, I would highly suggest to try and kill as many crocodiles as you can, because each of their meat when sold raw will sell for 625 gold or 1,750 gold per crocodile meat that's been cooked. If you've noticed by now, cooked variants of a raw item is actually a better way of making money. You can sell for an item 2 to 3 times more than its raw counterparts, so keep in mind anything that you are going to sell that can't be cooked, whether it's a fireplace or a barbecue, to consider doing that before selling it. If cooking is your thing, then the cooking table is a really good idea to be making money as well, but it depends on what you sell. For example, if you just sell the fruit that's required for a fruit salad, you'll get 1,300 gold back into your pocket, but when turned into a fruit salad, it turns into 1,500 gold. If you're ever going to use the cooking station to make money, be sure to go for the bigger item, like the prime rose, which I know is a lot to cook, but if you do cook one, it will sell for 15,000 gold. If you don't like using the cooking table, you want something a little more lazier, shells are a really good idea. The best shell that you can sell by itself is the 𝓗𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 shell, which sells for 80 dinks each. Try and find the beach as often as you can and just follow along the shore to collect your shells, because they're more likely to appear on the sand rather than just randomly in your playthrough. Also, if you've leveled up in fishing, you might actually see some bubbles along the shore of the water, and this can actually be some critters that you can pick up not only to hand into the museum, but they're really good to sell as well. Now, this tip is my favorite way of making money. Everyone says metal detection, which I do agree they do sell for a lot, but you need these, so why not just trap a creature instead? Get your trapping license as early as you can, and also make a shipping station, as the other alternative you have is John's scale right in front of his register to sell a trapped animal. Now, you can trap everything and anything in the game. However, the only animals you can't trap are sharks, jellyfish, bats, and alpha animals. My best way of making money is in the tropics. There are wary emus, which are the cassowary looking emus that you can find that will attack you when you come by. I've put a shipping station right by their spawn place. You can make them attack you, walk by the shipping station, place down a trap, and if they run into it, you can immediately put it into the shipping station to make easy money. Wary emus and crocodiles are my most consistent ways of making money, so I make sure that I can put as many shipping stations as I can in areas that I know that they're going to spawn often. And I also put down a marker on my map where these shipping stations are, so I know where to go every time I start up the game again, so I can find them and trap them. And don't forget, you can actually trap the crocodiles that you can find over in the mines. So if you do have the mines unlocked, maybe you can consider trapping them as well. My next tip is that there are merchants that are going to come onto your island, whether they're a traveling merchant or someone that's actually permanently moved onto your island. Now, a really good way of making money is actually interacting with them and then asking if they need anything. Majority of the time, they'll either sell an item or ask for you to hand something into them. And there are 2 rewards that you can get. You'll either get an item in return for the reward, or they'll actually give you money. Generally, the money that I've been getting every time I complete a request is 1,000 gold, but they'll also give you few items, whether it's clothing or maybe even tin bar, and you can either use that for yourself or just sell it back over to John. You can do one quest maximum for every person that's at your island, whether it's a traveling merchant or someone that's permanently moved in, and every time you complete a quest, you'll get a quarter heart friendship with them. Now, this is a really good tip. Not only is it really useful for traveling merchants because you will need to gain your friendship with them so then they become a permanent resident, but with the permanent residents that are already on your island, the higher the friendship you are with them, the more likely they are actually going to help you out with your farm, such as watering your crops and petting your animals. But because you're such a good friend, they may actually send you something in the mail as well. My next tip is there's going to be random things that you'll find throughout your gameplay, especially like random signs, for example, that are kind of just sitting there. Well, if you actually sell that old sign by knocking it down and picking it up, you can actually sell it for 10,000 gold when you sell it over at John. Another random item that you can sell as well is crocodile tooth that you can get from killing crocodile. They'll sell for 3,500 dinks each. Or what about opals? If you've randomly found them in a rock, you can actually sell these for 15,000 gold each as well. Now, a lot of people have been asking, what about my bars? My copper bar, my tin bar, and my iron bar, should I be selling these? I definitely suggest against this because not only do you need the resources for yourself, but if you're not consistently getting yourself the ore of each of these, then there's not really a good idea to be selling them. However, if you do like going into the mines often, the iron bar is a really good idea to be selling. You can sell each of these for 2,000 gold. And obviously you only need to make about 13 of these to pay back your mine pass so you can go back in again. So if this is something of interest and you like going into the mines or you find a lot of ore, you can definitely sell these to make money. If you have your logging license unlocked at level 1, I would highly suggest getting that to level 2 because you'll get the recipe to make kegs. Now, kegs will take in 3 different items and further produce them into other items. You'll either need 10 yellow wattle flowers, 10 bottle brushes, or 10 jelly to produce 3 different items that when consumed will have 3 different buffs for you. Not only is this going to be useful in your gameplay, but you can actually sell these for a lot of money. The hardest one to make will actually require the 10 jelly, which is commonly found from the jellyfishes, but if you are producing these quite consistently, you can sell these for nearly 6,000 gold each. If you haven't gotten any animals on your farm yet or even Owen unlocked, I would highly suggest trying to rush this. The earliest thing you can get are chickens that will start producing you eggs, and it's actually really a good idea to be selling these. Not only can you sell the eggs by themselves over at John, but you can also cook them into scrambled eggs. Consistently selling these will actually be a good idea, and there's also a milestone that you can actually get which gives you permanent points when you start selling eggs over at John. Now, if you get the D to place down a bulletin board, 100% you should be placing this down as early as possible. Interacting with this board will actually give you quests that certain residents are asking for, but you actually have a time limit that you actually need to complete these. Some of them are easy, such as certain residents saying that they want planks or even seeds to be handed into them, but there are eventually going to be alpha animals that you'll have to defeat, and then telling that person will give you a really big reward for it. Now, not only are these animals even bigger than normal, but they'll have even more moves that they'll do to attack you with, so be careful when defeating them. But if you do, and if you tell that person that you've done that, you can get 10, 20, even 30,000 dings for completing that task. Now, I'm not trying to suggest that you should do metal detection to make money because I'm trying to avoid that with this video, but let's just say that there's a way that you can metal detect without a metal detector. Now, if you have your metal detection at level 2, eventually you'll start seeing X's on the ground, which is like an X marks the spot. And you don't need a metal detector to tell you what that is, just use your shovel and you can dig up items that are within there. Not only are these the items that you can use for yourself, but you can sometimes find amber within the ground. Amber doesn't go into your inventory, you will have to hold it above your head, but if you return it to John, depending on its weight, could actually make you some good money. And those are my tips to make some really good money without the mines and metal detecting. If you enjoyed your say, why not leave a like? If you want to see more videos, why not consider subscribing? I'll see you next time. Take care.